Hello everybody, and welcome to Hungary's favorite language learning video blog. I'm your host, Michael Lyons. Joining us today is General Manager of Angol Falu, Anet Pichler. She'll be telling us a little bit about her very innovative Angol Falu language concept, how the concept is taking off in Hungary, and what new projects they're currently working on. Welcome, Anet. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're very, very welcome. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about the Angol Falu concept? In a nutshell, where did you get the idea, and what makes it different from traditional language learning?
Well, the concept itself is a full immersion, normally weekly program where we create native environment here in Hungary without traveling. Adults can study very intensively during a week, and it gives them around 100 hours of English conversation in a week. And conversation is the keyword here, because what we do is, this is probably the most important value, is that they get access to native conversation lists, and they are able to use the English language learning, whatever they learned in the classes. They have a chance to try themselves out and use it in a very secure environment. So it's helping them to get that big jump from learning a language in the school and the real life. It kind of guides the people there.
Okay, and you, if I understood correctly, you said they get 100 hours of conversation practice
more or less,
week?
Yes. It depends on the people, if they get too tired at night, but basically until 11, 12 at night, they can actually get all the advantage out of a native environment.
Okay, and then I can imagine that there's a whole variety of programs throughout the day to keep it interesting.
We
for
guide them through a lot of activities, and we help them set up conversations and also do things that by laughing and by doing things that they really like, they get a very good motivation to actually speak the language and not to be afraid of speaking up and using what they learned in the classes.
This it's a unique concept, I think, at least in Hungary. Can you tell us what a typical day at Angol Falu looks like? So the student shows up, and what can they expect? What happens?
So they move in on Sunday. It's a hotel, so you can imagine as a holiday, really. They move in on Sunday, and we start with a nice dinner and some introductory activities where everybody can meet foreigners and Hungarian participants. And from Monday to Friday, they have constantly organized activities that includes classes for their levels. So we have different groups of language levels during the day. It includes, of course, breakfast with the natives and lunch. And
so even while eating?
While eating, you can have those conversations you would have at a conference, or you would have, so you can, people can actually speak all the time English. And in the afternoon, after a little break of 1 hour, more or less, when people can do their emails, and these are all more or less professional people, so they have their responsibilities. They would start the fun part, the activities, and we do hiking, we do sports, we do a lot of games, and also one-to-one conversations that you would have with somebody.
Okay, it sounds like a very, very nice mix.
Yes,
intensive,
it is very intensive, and it's very hard at the beginning. So until Tuesday, people really need to kind of change their mindset. It's really hard sometimes, but afterwards the success arrives. So from Wednesday on, the motivation is growing, and they really love them to try themselves out in different situations.
Okay. Tell me, when was the company established in Hungary, and how are people responding to it? How is the concept taking off?
It's quite recent. It's not a unique concept in the sense, it's unique in Hungary, but it's working in different countries all over Europe and outside. So we started last year in September 2014, and we've been doing monthly groups of people and of participants. And this summer we also added summer camps for kids, which
mm-hmm,
had a great success.
Okay.
Same concept, only speaking English and being with,
But
with
for kids, different activities, different materials, but the same concept.
And
Okay, sounds nice. Which brings me to the next question. Who are typical Angol Falu students? Where do they come from?
Normally, we are talking about Hungarian professionals who have a lot of success in their field of work. So they would be executives or university lecturers or people who achieved a lot in their professional life, and they need this special backup for their English language level that they didn't have the chance to improve at the beginning of their professional life, and now they feel like adding that to have a complete profile.
Especially focusing on their active English, right?
Yes, exactly.
Active English speaking.
So we're not talking about helping them out with their own vocabulary. We're talking about conversing and having a relaxed, well, basically just a relaxed way of speaking English.
It sounds like a wonderful idea, because for many people, as you mentioned, they know their professional vocabulary. But what most people, I think, find uncomfortable is to be in the break, for example, in conferences, small talk, and then these types of situations can be the most difficult.
Yes.
And I think that sounds
like a good way. We get inquiries, our guests need help with presentations and sometimes interviews, or there are general business-related topics that we can help with. And also what you just mentioned, all the social part of the English language, so conference dinners and small talk is a good one. We have a whole day of small talk.
I can imagine you have a separate block of material developed specifically for that. Here's a question for you. So it's very intensive. It's how many days? 7 days?
6 days.
6 days. Okay.
6 days. Nights.
6 nights. It seems like a relatively short amount of time, but at the same time it's very intensive. How much improvement can somebody typically expect to achieve in that amount of time?
Improvement is very relative to the person's capacity of absorbing and wanting to go out. So shy people have more difficulty, for example, to get right away a tangible improvement. But everybody, without exception, get a nice push of motivation, because they get very successful moments where they could actually do something that they didn't do before. A nice conversation, a laugh, tell a joke in front of people, things like that that normally they are not able to practice in a normal environment, a normal business environment. I can assure that if it's difficult to measure,
of course.
We do measure five aspects of fluency, things related to fluency, so fluency, vocabulary, that are important, and we do measure them based on the European framework. And things can be different. Some people stay in their same level, but they feel more comfortable, and some jump a whole level. So these are the two extremes that we go.
But I mean, either way, a week is or 6 days is a very short amount of time, and if somebody can make some improvement in their objective language knowledge or language skills and achieve a boost in confidence, that's probably the biggest gift, no?
It really ends up that people would like to keep on working on their English. So this is what I think we can achieve. That we can show them that it's fun to speak the language and meet new people, and it's wonderful people, we invite to. Okay.
Here's a question for you. I mean, things are going well so far. There's definitely interest, I think, in what you're doing.
Yes.
What are your plans for the future?
We are developing several concepts right now. So one is the business client. Of course, that has a big market and a big demand among the corporate clients that we have. But we would like to add special shorter periods of full immersion program where we can offer specific, we can tackle specific problems like interview preparation or some kind of vocabulary improvement that they would need, like real estate or medical vocabulary that we get inquiries for. And apart from that, we also are trialing right now the iPrep, what we call iPrep, which is the preparation for the IELTS program for younger adults.
Okay, okay. One more question. If somebody is interested in the concept, they like what they've heard, what's the next step? Where can they go to find more information?
Well, they can have much more information on Facebook, Angol Falu, or on our Facebook page, and on our webpage, angolfalu.hu, where they find a phone number that they can call if they have further questions, and we are ready to answer whatever
questions they might have.
Okay,
yes. Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anet, so much for being with us today. It's
Thank
been a real experience. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Remember to like us and share us on Facebook, spread the word to your friends, and feel free to post your comments underneath the video. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time. Cheers.